Hey guys, so you're wondering what are the best face of the franchise cards to go after while you're trying to do the featured program. This video I'm going to go over the best choices that you can get, and obviously the first 6 that you go through, you're really not going to have an option. You're going to get given a random one per pack, but I want to talk about the choice packs because I think you can really impact your team and build a really good squad for free while just doing the face of the franchise program. And if you're wondering the best way to complete the feature program, go ahead and watch my getting started video. It walks you through step by step the best way to do that. All right, let's get into the face of the franchise cards. All right guys, so as you can see, I've got almost 500,000 XP towards the program, and I didn't do it by, grinding out Road to the Show or mini seasons. I've literally just been playing the game. Obviously, you see the timer still below me. My subathon is still going, and I have another 100 hours at the time of this video. If you want to come hang out, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. If you're watching this later on, then maybe, hopefully my subathon ended at some point. Nonetheless, yeah, you want to go ahead and complete all the programs, and again, my video, the getting started video, will walk you through all that. But today I want to talk about the featured program and the choice packs that you will get later on. So as you go down through this list, you will see you'll get packs for each division, the exclusive awards, but these are just these are given to you. There is no choice. You can get lucky in a roll. I did not. I got a couple catchers in my first 3. It was rough, but nonetheless, let's talk about once you get to the choice pack section, and that is going to be at 255,000 XP. You will get the NL Central face of the franchise choice pack, and I want to go over the selections that I would recommend you take for each step, okay? Out of this one, it might surprise some people, but Devin Williams is the easiest face of the franchise one to pick, in my opinion, because the other options, there's just better live series cards or some other free cards that you can get in other sets. This Devin Williams card with 114 hits per 9, 116 K per 9 has just been absolutely insane for me, and I really have not found a lot of relievers that I've enjoyed using that I trust. 1.71 ERA in 21 innings for me. He is by far the best pitcher that I've used, not just as a reliever, but as a starter as well. His pitch mix is really good. A circle change, fastball, cutter, and screwball. The cutter at 83 is so slow, and it is so easy to locate with it that I think really sets him above, and especially if you pair him with another reliever that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But in my opinion, I think for this choice pack that you get, no matter what your lineup state, no matter what it is, this is the easiest one in my opinion. Devin Williams would be the one that I would select. All right, next up at 285,000 experience, you will get your second face of the franchise choice pack, and that will be for the AL Central. And this is the first one where you've really got some decisions to make, and it will depend mostly on your roster. But we'll start first with Luis Robert. This is a phenomenal card. His swing is absolutely nuts. Very good stats against lefties. Obviously, contact up at 108, power at power at 99, a great speed at 95, and a very good fielder at 90. His arm a little bit left to be desired at 76, but nonetheless can play all 3 outfielder spots. There's something about his swing that is great. I'm betting 395 in 38 at bats with him, and he would be the first selection that I would make if you are going to make a choice and your lineup isn't set, like you don't have any other amazing outfielders. Luis Robert would be my pick. Let's say you got Luis Robert, though. Who would be your next pick? And it would be Emmanuel Clausse. So much like Devin Williams, he is one impact reliever that I've found that I've really enjoyed. So unlike Devin Williams, his cutter is not at 83 miles an hour. It's actually up at 97, and it is absolutely wild to use. Very good control. Same with the slider. That's up at 99. You see his hits per 9 at 108, K per 9 at 83. Just a very, very good card to use as a reliever out of your bullpen. And I found that it's a really good mix to use him and then switch over to Devin Williams or vice versa near the end of the game, because you can use that cutter, and it's such a difference in variance that people are used to either trying to tee up that cutter at 83 with Devin Williams, and then they try to hit this one at 103 or at 100. So Emmanuel Clausse would be my second choice. Now, obviously, you've got some other choices here. Casey Mize, very good card. It is not like he is a bad one. Just not as important as Clausse or Luis Robert, in my opinion. Andrew Benintendi, unfortunately, he would be the odd one out here, just one I don't think that you want to acquire. And then Byron Buxton, who's an extremely good card. The only reason why I wouldn't choose him is because his live series card is also very, very good and has the opportunity to go up. Obviously, it being a live series card. And he also just hit an absolute tank in today's game at like 101 miles an hour. It's just nuts. Nonetheless, his live series card is only going for like 13,000 subs, so I think that it'd be better to buy his live series card and then go with Robert or Clausse. Our next choice pack will be at 315,000 XP, and that will be the NL East. And again, there is some decisions to be made here. Francisco Lindor, his stats might not impress you. And again, if you're newer to the game, especially if you come from watching my NHL content, you're kind of accustomed to stats being like the end-all be-all. In MLB, it's a lot different. His swing is very good. He's also got the benefit of being a switch hitter, which is very valuable. Can play almost every infielder spot. I think that there are some better options, though, at the plate for him. The one thing I'll say is Jazz Chisholm has a swing that might be one of the best in the game. He is a very popular player among the MLB community, and he always performs well when you use him, so Jazz Chisholm is probably the one I would select. Ronald Acuna, tough situation here again because his live series card is obviously much better, and if you are going to complete the collection, you're eventually going to get him. So I would probably pass on Ronald Acuna unless you want to just sell, in which case you can just sell these cards, but I would probably take Jazz Chisholm in this spot. Moving on to the AL East pack, this comes at 345,000 XP, and this one really only has 3 options in my opinion, and that would be Cedric, Mullins, Devers, or Chapman. I think Wander Franco, while still a very good swing, I loved his card in MLB 21. Again, very, very good swing. Hits lefties very well, but the power against righties, I think there are probably better options for you that can play in the infield. Very good speed and fielding, but again, I think there's some other options that you're going to get early on while you're playing that are either free for you or just a little bit better. I think that his live series card is probably something worth investing in because I think that'll end up as a high diamond too. Alex Manoa has, he has a great hit per 9, is serving up some BP every time I've played him, and people in the community that I've talked to, just not a huge fan of him. The Aroldis Chapman card, his base card, his live series card, has just been awful. It's either you just throw a straight line fastball and everyone's sitting on it, or you can't locate the plate, especially for newer players. Chapman's hits per 9 at 116 and his K per 9 at 118 is phenomenal. And then obviously he's got that fastball. When you combine it with the splitter or the slider, it's very, very devastating. However, I do think that in the other packs, the relievers are the ones to go with. But let's say that you got Devin Williams and then you didn't get Emmanuel Clausse, you took a Luis Robert, then Chapman might be an option for you. But if you already got Luis Robert as your gifted one while you were doing the program and then took Emmanuel Clausse, I probably wouldn't go Chapman here because you've already got 2 really good relievers. That means it comes down to Raphael, Devers, and Cedric Mullins, and this is going to be completely on team build. If you don't have a lot of outfielders, Cedric Mullins has a very, very smooth swing. He's pretty quick at 82 speed. Not a huge fan of his arm, but nonetheless, he's got a very, very good swing. Raphael Devers, same thing. I've always loved his swing as a lefty. Again, lefties have been kind of tough to come by too, so you probably want to go Raffy, but this is all going to come down to your team makeup. The NL West is up next at 375,000 XP, and this is really 2 options in my opinion. Obviously, Carson Kelly you don't want. It's not like he doesn't hit very well. Actually, I've hit 375 of them in 24 at-bats. It's just that he doesn't hit righties very well, and he's got no speed. You've got JT Realmuto as an option that you can get, and there's also a ton of good catchers that you can grab. Like if you do the Conquest, you've got Piazza, so there's just or even Napoli from the Texas Rangers collection. That's why Carson Kelly I think is far down the list. There's really a couple options. So you've got CJ Krohn, whose attributes have been phenomenal. Haven't faced a lot of CJ Krohn, but still his hitting tool is very, very good. If you need a first baseman, I think that in the outfield you don't want to play him there, but if you need a first baseman, but if you did take like Ortiz or Howard, you probably won't want to go him. Bellinger is another one whose swing is nasty until you get to like Hall of Fame. So if you're a beginner player and you're on All-Star and you're just you're struggling to get a lot of wins together, power is still going to be very important for you. It doesn't kind of switch to contact until you get into Hall of Fame in ranked season, so I don't really think you need to worry about that. Bellinger's swing has always been really good. Even back to MLB 20, it was one of my favorite cards to use. And that arm in right field at 99 makes him absolutely deadly. So Bellinger's probably the one that I would go with over everyone else. Cronenworth, I've actually heard some decent things that people have just been giving him, and he's not bad. Logan Webb as well. His sinker plays really nice. I don't know if it just has a lot of movement. Every time I've used him or faced him, it's been really tough. 85 hits per 9 is nice. So Logan Webb might be an option for you as a starting pitcher if you don't have any, but I would definitely go Bellinger over anyone else. And then on to our last one at 405,000 XP. You've got the AL West face of the franchise pack, and this is going to come with a few, like, obviously everyone's going to take a look at Mike Trout and be like, that's the one. I don't know what it is. He has been my favorite player to use, obviously among everyone else's. For the last 2 MLB The Shows, his live series card has been abysmal for me this year. I don't know what it is. I heard there was a slight change in his swing, but I'm just not hitting well with Mike Trout's live series card, so I can't really speak to that. I think that might knock down his face of the franchise card. And not to mention, if you're chasing that, the live series card obviously going to be better than this one. Kyle Tucker has been really good. I've seen a few people use him, and he's really underrated. Kyle Tucker's been good. Sean Murphy, good power at the plate and a really good defensive catcher. But again, there's so many options there, so he would not be one I choose. I think, in my opinion, the choice is between Haniger and Corey Seeger. I'm not going to lie. Mitch Haniger has been one of my best power hitters since the game has come out. He's batting .306 for me in 112 at-bats with the 101 contact against lefties and the 97 power against righties, 105 against lefties for me. Good defensively with a great arm. He would be the one that I would select. I think that he has been one of the best outfielders and just overall cards that I've used. But then you have Corey Seager, and obviously he has got a very good swing. A lot of people have talked about it, and he's got very, very good hitting stats all the way around. Can play any of the infield spots, so this is going to come down to if you don't have anyone that plays in your infield. And at this point, if you're around 400,000 XP, you've probably got a pretty decent team. My opinion, I would go Mitch Haniger if you're just putting them in a vacuum. But again, same situation as some of the other packs. If you need an infielder, I would go Corey Seager or Mitch Haniger. All right, guys, so that is going to do it. Those are the choices that I would recommend as you grind through the Face of the Franchise featured program. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below, or come hang out during my stream, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one.